Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video we are talking about Run Rabbit Run. This is the story of a single mother who grows increasingly unsettled by her daughter's claims of another life, stirring up their family's painful past. So right away I was drawn into this film based off of the idea of past lives in itself. I love this concept, the idea of past lives, especially with children, because you hear a lot of stories of these. There are plenty of documentaries that you can watch of stories of children talking about like past lives, and I just find it so fascinating and a little bit terrifying as well. And so when I saw that in the description for this film, I instantly knew that I needed to give this one a shot. But unfortunately, this one was a bit disappointing. I'm not gonna lie that it felt a little like an attempt to kind of recreate the feeling of the Babadook, where you're addressed with this idea of a character in mourning. The mother, Sarah, is dealing with a lot of loss in her life. Her father has recently passed. She has this disconnected relationship from her mother, and now her daughter is bringing up these memories of a past life. And as the film goes on, we realize that she is referring to Sarah's sister Alice, who had gone missing when they were kids. And it's a lot, but it's a bit too, and it is a lot for a character to go through. And that's not to say that that doesn't happen in real life. It's just a lot, and it's a lot to kind of try to keep track of throughout the film, and it felt like they were just trying to throw too much into the film. Now, if you've been a subscriber for a while or just kind of know me, you know, like, I'm not by any means like a big fan of the Babadook. That's actually probably, like, I'm sure I've included that in one of my unpopular opinions, that I really like did not like that movie. And so I'm in no way like being defensive for that movie. It just, to me, felt like they were kind of trying to go down that same route, and it didn't work out. And as a protagonist, as Sarah, she's really very unlikable. And I will be like the first person to say that you don't need to have a likable protagonist to make a film or a TV show work. I don't think that you always have to like the characters to enjoy their story, but she just is kind of the worst, and she just keeps getting worse as the film goes on. No point do you start to feel bad for her as a character. It kind of reversed it in this film, where you start maybe feeling kind of bad for her in the beginning, but as it increasingly goes on, again, she just gets worse as a character. And I put this in my Letterboxd review that it takes like the first hour of this film, it's about an hour 40 minutes, for her to finally sit down and have a conversation with her daughter. Like, her daughter keeps trying to talk to her about these past lives. She keeps trying to ask questions. She's at that age where she's very like curious, and she knows that something's going on, and Sarah just refuses to have any sort of conversation with her. She gets like irrationally angry every time her daughter Maya, I think, tries to talk to her at all. And we end up finding out why she's kind of like that. The ending of the film definitely has a twist to it that I didn't see coming, which I guess I will talk about now. So, spoiler warning for if you have not seen this film and you do want to watch it. I'm just gonna put a little spoiler here. Throughout the film, as Mia's talking about the past lives or being this Alice character, she keeps telling her mom that there are points throughout the film where she tells her mom, like, I am not Mia, I am Alice, like, that's who I am. And like I said, Sarah gets like irrationally angry at her, and never really like tries to understand. But as the film goes on, we do reach a point where she seemingly starts to believe her, and she ends up finally talking to her as Alice, and we find out that Alice didn't just go missing, that Sarah was in some way involved in her sister's disappearance. We don't know, we never find out exactly what happened, but she had something to do with her sister's death. Like, she tells her mom at one point that Alice is dead. And so we know for a fact that she knows that she is, and she ends up confessing to Alice having something to do with her disappearance. And so that really explains Sarah's behavior throughout the film, and even the dynamic of them, because when we have flashback scenes or there's some photographs that we see of them as kids, and her daughter does look a lot like Alice. They don't look like they're very far in age. And I'm like, growing up, me and my sister, like, we definitely, you know, had sisterly fights, but just the behavior between them just feels so off. Like, you're like, okay, why would Alice, as, you know, coming through Mia, be so like irrationally, like, be so aggressively angry towards her sister and like want absolutely nothing to do with her? And so once we find that out, it makes sense as to why. So it was definitely a plot twist that I was not expecting in this film, which I think did help the film a bit. But again, there was so much happening in the film, and just Sarah, again, does not become likable really at any point. And as we get that ending, it's understandable why. This is one that unfortunately I just don't think that I'm gonna be recommending. So it's unfortunate, but it happens. So if you have seen this film, let me know what your thoughts were on it in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a big old thumbs up, and make sure you hit the subscribe button for more spooky and horror related content. And I will see you all again later with another video. Bye.